This is Lorraine.
And Jennifer, and I match you.
And yes, this is the kind of the golden black day. And folks, we don't plan these in advance. We got too much else to do and work on marketing and business, but a good outfit is always a plus.
There you go.
So today, I want to start off with some very simple instructions. Don't watch this video.
I knew you were going to have some sort of like good hook, as we would like to say.
And as I said that, you're thinking, Lorraine, what the? That is an example of a negative hook. It's designed to stop your audience in their tracks and make them go, what? And that technique will work with social media posts. It will work with email subject lines. It will work with blog posts and select ads, not all ads. But it's just one of the many tactics you can use to break the feed up and get noticed and get their attention. You know, one.
Oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say, like, I mean, it's the hook is. It's just like it's the hook, like what to grab them and pull them in, and you know, if it sounds like everybody else, then it's not gonna be much of a hook.
And you know, I have been experimenting with using AI to help me write titles and hooks, and that's hard for me because the titles and hooks have always been my thing. That's my team would write the blog posts and I would rewrite their titles. I'd write the text for the social media post.
You rewrite my titles all the time.
I rewrite your titles all the time. But I have found that with the right instruction, like if I just say, hey, come up with a clever title, doesn't work.
No.
But if I give it specifics, I want a title that creates a sense of urgency. I want a title that indicates scarcity, or I want a title that is humorous or negative.
Yeah.
Or now it gets better. It gets better. In general, people go too long on their titles. And so as ChatGPT recommends titles, ChatGPT makes the same mistakes.
Yeah. I think I've seen a couple like problem, agitation, intrigue, that twist, promise. Like, you know, what is it? Like maybe 4 or 5 words is probably too much, or like, you know, that's the most you can get in there.
You know, this is not 50 years ago. What's his name? Ogilvy wrote a headline for the New York for an ad for the New York Times, and it was like a 2-line headline, and it was spectacular. We can't do that anymore. On social media, a lot of the tools crop your headlines. Email clients, 5 to 7 words. That's all people see.
Yeah.
So you gotta make every word count. Doesn't mean you can't follow the model of, you know, of your pain and your solution in the headline.
Yeah.
But you gotta really think through, do I need all those words?
Yeah. I mean, other things I think about is like you gotta have that hook before the fold on any type of marketing, you know, before the scroll, before the tap. It's what's in it for me here? Like, why do I need to pay attention to this?
Absolutely. And I'm going to suggest that whatever content you're creating is, if you spend an hour writing a blog post, it's okay to spend an hour on the headline. Because if you don't get that headline right, nobody's going to read that blog post.
Well, if your audience can't tell it's for them in the first line, they're out.
Absolutely. So you got to get to the point. You got to minimize those boring details. And there are lots of things that you can do. There was a time, oh, this might have been 2009. Everything had a number in it. 5
Yeah.
ways to do this, 6 ways to do that. And there is a magic with numbers.
Mm-hmm.
People in their heads, they know you can't solve their problem in 3 easy steps.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
want to
But they're a little curious. I mean, it's like, well, if you can.
So numbers still pique curiosity. I would say you can use them occasionally. Don't make every blog post title a number.
No. Use a pain point, use a fear, use an aspiration. That will certainly help people. So those are type of things you want to include.
Yeah, and then you can rotate back to the numbers. And there's a kind of a rule with numbers: go small or ridiculously large. 3 ways to do X or 100 ideas. Because with both of those, people are like, well, there's got to be something there for me.
Yeah. If you really, go ahead.
No, just don't fall in the middle.
I think too, on the audience, like if you really hone in and you're talking to who you're talking to, it's gonna feel like you're just talking to them, like you're just talking to one person, and it's gonna be like, oh, I feel seen.
Yes. Don't just say top 5 things business owners make. Mistakes business owners make.
Are you
top 5
feeling the
things
pressure? Yeah.
Well, or define your audience in your subject line. Common mistakes for new business owners, common mistakes for women business owners, most common mistakes for young business owners.
New,
common mistakes for business owners considering selling. In each of those instances, you're going to be like, well, but other people won't care. That's all right. You can re-release the article for them with a different title.
Yeah.
But in that moment, if what you're trying to do is reach young women business owners, like you said, they feel seen.
I think that's a good point too. Like you could take one article and do a different post and introduce it differently in a different hook, and they're going to read it differently because you're coming from a different angle.
Absolutely. The New York Times, the Washington Post, they do this every day. And I get annoyed sometimes because I think it's a different article. And then I get there, I'm like, okay, I've read this. But most people don't click on both hooks. And so you're reaching different people and you're connecting with different audiences.
Different hot buttons.
Different hot buttons. Another tactic that works really well is lists.
Mm-hmm.
3 items you need in your wardrobe. 5 tax tips that'll save you hundreds of dollars.
5 people you need to know.
5 people you need to know. And so those are called the top appeal. And people really like that and they gravitate to that. And I know you say I do negative, but the bottom appeal, people love the bottom appeal. The things that are the worst dressed, people can't resist a train wreck. The 4 worst restaurants. Well, that'd be mean.
Yeah, if you don't do this, this is going to happen.
It's 4 foods you should absolutely ignore.
Why your marketing sucks.
Yes. 4 indications that why people hate your website, or 4 indications that your SEO is failing.
Why you're burning money right now.
Which I think leads me to the last thing is you got to be willing to have a little fun, create a sense of mystery, maybe where people don't even know.
Shock, go off brand.
Go off, be careful about that because you don't want to go too far. You got to bring it back. But things that people don't really know what the article is about, but the subject line is
intriguing.
So intriguing. Headless body found in topless bar. That was a front page headline from the New York Post in the 1980s. And the guy who wrote it got assigned, in the days when writers actually went to the scenes of crimes.
Yeah.
And he's in his car driving on the Long Island Expressway, and all he can think of is, because he's the information he got was that a headless body was found in a bar. All he's thinking is, please make it a strip club. Please make it a strip club. Because he already had the headline and he knew it was good.
I've heard of people misspelling on purpose.
Yes.
Like maybe like inserting a different word, or just something that's gonna be like, oh well, that's different.
And when you play with that, you want to be sure that you very quickly go, yes, I know it was misspelled, but didn't you feel the urge to correct me? And, so it's okay to wink. Just make sure that your audience knows you're winking too.
Well, I know I'll get sometimes anytime English majors or the grammar police, because I'm always not the best at that.
I laugh because I'm high auditory. I hear things. I'm very good verbal.
Okay.
And I can translate it into writing, but it's not my strong suit.
No. Isn't that funny? We both write a bunch and we both know it's not our strong suit.
No. All right, folks, go forth. You know what? Share your best headline in the comments.
There you go.
If you have a subject line or a hook that really worked for you, go ahead and share it in the comments. We'd love to see your creativity in action.
All right. Take care.
Bye now.